Next question. I know we have to talk a little bit about Sheikh Ahmad Didat and your involvement, your interaction, your connection with Sheikh Ahmad Didat there in South Africa. So maybe you need to let us know what motivated you now. What motivated you to get involved in Dawah?
So you're quite right. I think it was an interaction with Sheikh Ahmad Didat one Sunday afternoon. And he was already in a debilitating state where he was unable to vocalize his thoughts. It was only through his physical hand gestures and his eyes. Sorry, it was only his eyes that he was a little while. I had an opportunity to understand some things about this man that I would never have imagined. He was a unique personality in that he was a self-taught scholar, and he forayed and he ventured into a field that was extremely unique to the average Muslim. There was something about Sheikh Ahmad Didat that escalated him and catapulted him to a world leader. And this is because of the effort and the struggle that he made to reach out to Christians. In South Africa, we should have been a forerunner. Today, we should have taken the bull by the horns in that we had a great leader amongst us, and we should have been the da'is around the world. But Allah had it such that Dawah is in the four corners of this world, and this is solely can be attributed to one man in the 20th century. For 50 years of his life, the man had dedicated a lot of his resources, a lot of his time and his energy into promoting Islam, giving Islam that type of beauty non-Muslims were unable to understand. So he brought Islam home, and in our teenage years, we were mesmerized by this man, like Muslims across the world. We were totally mesmerized and infatuated by what this man had to offer. But it didn't stop there. I think the lesson was that we needed to step into his shoes. We needed to step into the game, and we had to continue the role and responsibility. That was what Sheikh Ahmad Didat would have loved for. So, in 2004, I was on a South African Hajj mission, and part of the opportunity they'd given us, they took us to Sheikh Ahmad Didat's home, and we had this interaction with him. And he asked us a few pertinent questions. He made us read verses from the Bible, story of Lot and his daughters. I specifically remember that. And at that stage, I thought to myself, here is a self-made man who is able to do many things. You don't have to go to a regular Darul Uloom to be able to consider yourself to be a da'i. Of course, knowledge is important, and that is something that we focus on. It's more important to take this deen out to the people, irrespective of what your circumstances are. You could be a worker in a factory, you could be a professional in your office, you could be a flight attendant. But the opportunity for doing da'wah makes itself available if we seek that opportunity. So we should have a basic understanding of religions. We should have an understanding of what Islam is about. And nobody just stands up and says, I'm representing Islam. I think, we have to make a concerted effort to understand the fundamentals of Islam and to be able to project it in a way that's appealing to the person that's listening to us. And this is what Sheikh Ahmad Didat was able to do. He was able to present Islam in a beautiful manner.
Yes, you are 100% right. I remember when I visited his home, our guest of his son, brother Yusuf, his son showed me all his writings and his books and his notes, and I was like, Subhanallah. I was able to see some of the work that he used to do in the background and in the original days. When he started his research, certain things his son showed me in the archives. So Allah's blessed you also, because you're an author of 3 books, and I know you have been involved in editing books. So we'll talk a little bit about that when we come back from the break. Time just goes. We got to go on a short break in a couple minutes from now. But that is very motivating, Brother Mohammed. that you were a sort of steered and guided by Sheikh Ahmad Didat. And I must share with you, Brother Muhammad, Sheikh Ahmad Didat also motivated me. I met him when I were maybe 17 years old. 17 years old, I was studying in Bangalore in India. That's South India at that time. That's before I went to Deoband. And Sheikh Ahmad Didat was a guest, and we all met him personally, and that really motivated me. And then when after graduating, I had the opportunity to meet him again in person in South Africa, and be his guest at IPCI. So this was really, really a motivation to me. Hence, I know he always emphasize on spreading the message with wisdom. So I think you were very fortunate that you had that kind of guidance to get motivated and get sort of groomed, that Allah has blessed you with that unique world sheikh. And I mean, one of the only like him that we have had in the history, with his background and where he came from and how he started. That's very unique. And, I must get back to the law point. Islam has a lot to do with jurisprudence and law. And when you are blessed with law and you have the ability as a lawyer, that's a special gift in doing dawah. That's a special gift in doing dawah, because